Alright, what's going on, Dolphins fans? Jacob here, Miami Dolphins Syndicate. Usually we come to you guys on a Monday with the Victory Monday video, something a little more positive, but it was the first game we lost. We knew it was coming, and these were the 5 things that we learned after the Buffalo Bills loss. So first of all, the defense is really bad. You look at the statistics, 4th bottom when it comes to points allowed per game, you're 7th bottom when it comes to yards allowed per game, and it doesn't look like it's getting better. We've played against 2 really good offenses in the Chargers and the Bills and just couldn't stop them at all. The Chargers game, at the very least, we were keeping up with them in scoring, so the defense wasn't looked upon as much as well as being week 1, new system, and all that other stuff going into it. But then you play against a divisional opponent who is familiar with your players, not necessarily familiar with schemes, because again, this is a first-year defense, but they know what's gonna look like in terms of personnel out there. And Josh Allen was just able to carve us up. He had just as many incompletions as he had touchdowns. Had, I think, a perfect passer rating. Was incredibly efficient. Didn't have to run the ball a lot. He could just sit back there, find Stephon Diggs at will. The defense is concerning. We can't act anymore like it's not. Yes, we are 3-1. We're still in a great position. But eventually you need to get stops. And when you get to the playoffs, assuming we get to the playoffs, we're not going to be going against the teams like the Broncos, teams like the Patriots. We're going to be going against the Chiefs, the Bills potentially again, the Ravens, these high-power offenses that can get it done in multiple different ways. And it is definitely a concern to me how this defense is playing early on in the season. Number 2, De'Von Achane is looking like a star. Now, he was the one bright spot yesterday. He had 8 carries, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, back-to-back games in which he averaged over a first down per carry. Against Denver, 18, 203, 11.3 average, 2 touchdowns on the ground there, 2 touchdowns receiving. Also got involved in the receiving game against the Bills, 3 catches for 19 yards. It was a day of polar opposites for Raheem Mostert and De'Von Achane. You had 7 carries for 9 yards for Raheem Mostert. Just nothing real positive going all day long. And then De'Von Achane is he's quick, he's bursty, he can hit a hole, he can make defenders miss. Everyone knows how quick he is. He's really reminding me of what we saw from Breece Hall last year, where you wonder what he's going to be as a talent. He's very athletic, he's very quick, and he can make guys miss in space. So is he going to be able to materialize that in the NFL level, especially for De'Von Achane, someone who's a lot smaller than the stereotypical running back who's already a pretty small guy? So my comp for him so far would be Breece Hall. He is amongst the most electric players in the NFL right now. We can line him up wide. We can line him up in the backfield. We can run him between the tackles every now and then, which is something that I thought would be impossible with De'Von Achane. But he's proving it. He's efficient. He's, again, a first down per carry over that is something you don't see in the NFL on a multiple game basis. I think he has 309 rushing yards in 3 games played, and he only had 1 carry for 5 yards against the Patriots. So that means 304 yards in last 2 games. He's got 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Today, he is the best player on the Dolphins offense, even over Tyreek Hill. Number 3, Terron Armstead, it's getting worse. And you look at Terron Armstead, he's missed 4 games last year. He missed 2 games this year, and it's looking like, I'm not sure at the time of recording how bad it is, but it's looking like he's probably going to miss next week, and we'll see for the future what ends up being the case for him after getting that knee injury. With his time on the Dolphins, just a year and change, he has been on the injury report going into a game 19 times. And he's missed 6 games. He's exited games early. Yes, he is an incredible player. When healthy, he is one of the best offensive linemen in football. He's one of the best left tackles in football. But you can't just say when healthy and act like it doesn't matter. Availability is the best ability. If you're not on the field, what are you doing for the team? He's a captain. He's an incredible player. He's an all-pro. He could be a Hall of Famer if he stays together more, but he doesn't. And eventually a conversation has to be had as to what to do with him beyond this year. If he can go out the rest of the season, again, I have literally no idea what the diagnosis is. I have no idea if he's week to week. I have no idea if he's going on the IR. I don't know if it's season ending. I don't know if he plays next Sunday. At the time, I have no idea. But it's happening way too often. And when you're on the offensive line, where yesterday we saw the pressure finally start to mount. Had 4 sacks, just the 1 in the previous 3 weeks, and that was the difference. these high-power offenses, the best way to stop them is to get to the quarterback. And Tua was flustered. Tua had to move out of the pocket. And when Tua moves out the pocket, that is not his strength. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not the most mobile guy. He's not looking to make a play with his legs. He can if he has to, but that is not what the offense is asking him to do. And when he gets outside the offense, we do see a bit of a lesser version of Tua Tagovailoa. So Teron Armstead at left tackle, maybe when the offseason comes around, we're finding a replacement for him there at the left tackle position. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC. And I don't think that is too spicy of a take. Now, we all saw them week 1, how they came out against the Jets, and Josh Allen looks absolutely terrible, and the defense really stepped up for the Jets and got them to the win in overtime. Since then, they have had the largest combined margin of victory in their next 3 games. They destroyed the Raiders, destroyed the Commanders, and then, quite frankly, destroyed us by 28, 34, and 28. They're the best team in the AFC, and they're winning slightly differently than we've seen them win in past years. Josh Allen is not throwing his body around. He's averaging 4 carries per ball game. He's not trying to put himself in the line of danger as much as he usually would. He'll do it every now and then. He'll lower the shoulder every now and then, but he's trying to preserve himself. And we saw last year when his elbow broke down, the offense wasn't as good. He is a very efficient guy right now. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, 4 incompletions, 4 touchdowns. He was coming into the game with a 73% completion percentage, and that's only gone up after the game. The defense, they just lost Tre'Davious White, so yeah, that definitely stings. But Matt Milano is still the best player on that defense. The offensive line is looking solid. The ground game wasn't there for them yesterday, which I was really surprised about, because James Cook appears to be the guy that they've wanted to be able to hand the ball off in the backfield. He's not a top 10 running back by any means, but he's coming off of a 100-plus yard game. The Dolphins have been allowing a lot on the ground game, so I thought naturally they'd be handing the ball off to him a lot, but not the case. Either way, though, Josh Allen was just able to sit back there and just dissect the defense, which again is looking weaker and weaker. They beat us, and now it's our turn whenever they come back down here to Miami to even it up. Finally, it is just the first loss. Everybody loses a game. Like I said yesterday in the video, there's only been one team in NFL history that has gone undefeated, and most of the people on that team are dead. It doesn't happen a lot. It literally only has happened once. You are expected to lose at least one game. When you're a good team, you're expected to lose somewhere between 2 to 4, maybe 5 games. That's what happens. The Chiefs have lost. The Bills have lost. Every team in the NFL has lost that's not named the 49ers or the Eagles, and those are 2 very good football teams. I think the Bills right now are slightly better than the Eagles, but the 49ers are probably the best team in football today. You're going to lose games, and if your first loss on your schedule is going on the road up to Buffalo, who I do think right now is the best team in the AFC, yes, the score wasn't pretty. Yes, the offense wasn't playing too great, and we do have our concerns about the defense. There are still valuable questions to be had about this football team, but I was going back and forth with somebody in the comments yesterday who were saying the season's over. I'm like, are we not 3-1? Is Tua not still healthy? Is Tyreek Hill not healthy? Is Jalen Waddle not healthy? Is Devon Achane not emerging on the scene? Like, there's still so much to like about this team. We're going to be able to put up a lot of points, and I expect a real strong bounce-back performance this upcoming week against the Giants. I don't know what the end result of this team is going to be. I feel very confident that we make the playoffs. I feel very confident that we'll be at minimum in the race for the AFC East. Not saying we're going to win it, but I think there's a very solid chance that we do win it. And then if you can get to the playoffs, you can go far, especially with a team that can put up as much points as the Dolphins can, especially if we can get most of our playoff games at home, if we can win the division and get to play in the heat instead of having to go potentially to Buffalo, to Arrowhead, to Baltimore, some colder places, some windier places. If we could get our playoff game in the Rock, then I feel pretty good. It's a long season. We're probably going to lose another game. We got to go over to Germany and play the Chiefs. We have to go up to Philadelphia and play the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. The Jets defense is giving people trouble, and Zach Wilson had, I'd argue, his best game as a pro yesterday. So there's still a lot of opportunities for the Dolphins to drop games on this schedule, but everybody drops games on their schedule. So don't sound the panic alarms too much. Not, maybe a little bit, because it's like, oh, dang, the defense is pretty bad. But otherwise, I don't think there's too much to worry about. those were the 5 things that we learned against the Buffalo Bills. Let us know anything down in the comments that you took away from the game yesterday. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know what you think of the video down below. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody.